So yesterday I found out like the hard way of what happens when the hungers strike mid-morning and you're not expecting it. And that urge to just like gorge on anything is screaming in your head really loud, like, feed me, Semore, I'm hungry, right? Well, today we're going to talk about three practical things, three practical steps that you can take to stay strong on your carnivore diet when temptation comes screaming your way. What do you say that we just jump into the conversation? Let's go. Hey everyone, welcome back to Holy Carnivore. My name is Jason, aka Pastor J, if we've never ever met, and welcome to New Hope Lutheran Church. This is my office here at New Hope Lutheran Church in the small town of Comfrey, Yasher, don't you know? And you know what? What happened yesterday when these hungers hit yesterday happened literally right here in my office, in this chair, at this desk, and I was not prepared at all. And today we're just going to kind of talk about that. And I really got to thinking about this yesterday afternoon. Like, even on the carnivore diet, hunger can happen like at almost any time, right? And I say almost because, well, if we've just eaten a meal, chances are we're not going to be hungry for a long, long, long time. But if you're intermittent fasting like I tend to do, and you're in that long fasting window, it's possible that hunger can happen sometime when you're least expecting it. And that's exactly what happened to me yesterday. Excuse me as I take a quick drink. Let me tell you the story. So I work Sunday. That's what I get up and do. I get up and I preached on Sunday. I taught Bible study. I went home and I ate lunch on Sunday. And then I lounged around. I kind of wanted the nap. And then we ate dinner. We ate supper on Sunday evening. And I think we had burger bowls, if my recollection comes to mind. And it's one of my favorite meals. And it satiates me. But maybe, I don't know if I ate enough on Sunday night, because yesterday morning, Monday morning, I'm filming this on Tuesday, I got up to go to work as I normally do. I'm very routine about how I do what I do. And I drink a drink first thing in the morning called Plexus Slim. My wife sells the product and I'm not here to promote it at all. I'm just saying I drink that in the morning with 20 ounces of water. It's the first thing I do. And then I reach for my electrolytes and I drink 40 ounces of my element tea, right? I mix one packet with 40 ounces of water. I shake it up in a big bottle and I pour it into a couple smaller ones and I bring it to work with me. So I'm bringing 60 ounces of water to work with me, y'all. And normally I'm good. Normally I can make it from supper on one evening all the way to lunch the following day. About a 16 to 18 hour fasting window. I'm normally really good with that. And about the time I get home for lunch, my body's saying, oh, okay, you can eat now. You're hungry. Eat enough and that'll carry you through supper time. That didn't happen yesterday. And like I said, I wasn't prepared at all. And around 10 o'clock, my body was like, you're kind of hungry. And I'm like, I don't have anything to eat. Drink some more water. That's what I did. I reached for my element. I drank more water. I figured, you'll be fine. You'll be fine for another hour and a half. I remember looking at the clock and going, you're fine. About a half an hour later, between 10:30 and 11, sometime around there, I'm like, roar. And my stomach is growling at me and my body is hungry. And I walked out of my office. My secretary was down there. My financial treasurer was down there and they were working on some stuff. And I looked at it and I said, I'm so hungry I could gnaw off my own arm. And they kind of laughed at me. And in the back of my mind, I knew that right in this filing cabinet, you can't see it right here. It's like right over here. Down in the bottom drawer, y'all, I got a box of Ritz crackers. They've been sitting there for like 8 or 9 months. And when I bought them 8 or 9 months ago, they were already like beyond their expiration date. We have a discount grocer in town. And sometimes the stuff that they have there is just beyond the expiration date, which really doesn't technically mean much. But sometimes the crackers are a little stale. And these were a little stale, a whole lot of stale, when I bought them 8, 9 months ago. And so when I took a few crackers 8, 9 months ago, and I'm like, ugh, these are gross. I really don't want to eat these. Instead of throwing the box out, I just shoved them back in my drawer. And there they've sat for the last 8 or 9 months. Completely forgotten about in the back of my mind. Well, yesterday, for some reason, my body got so hungry that only thing I could think about was digging out them old, nasty, stale Ritz crackers. And intellectually, right, I'm like, I ain't going to eat those things. But I was so hungry, y'all. Even those old, nasty, stale crackers were starting to sound kind of good. And I'm thinking, oh, Jason, you should have prepared. Jason, you should have brought something with you. But I didn't. I didn't have anything. Well, today I remedied that situation, right? Because last night, guess what I had for dinner again? I had another burger bowl. I had a meeting here at 6:30. I had to go home and eat dinner real fast. And then by the time I got home from my meeting, I wasn't going to snack on anything. I'm like, you better carry it over. But when I got ready for work this morning, I'm like, I'm not going to let this happen again. So I brought with me some summer sausage and some cheese. And I ate that as a snack this morning because the hungers were starting to get to me again. But that's not the only thing that I did. I also grabbed some snacks to come along with me. I brought them with me. They're sitting right here at my desk. I brought some smoked shorty sausages, Duke's original sausage. I got me these at Sam's Club. I'll be honest, I don't really like them. They looked good. They look good in the package. I'm just not a fan of the way they taste. They're better than other ones that I bought, but these are like a last resort type of thing. The bag is still sealed. I haven't even opened these up. I got an open one up at home, and I still don't like them. Be honest, we give them to the dog as a treat once in a while. Here's another one that I brought. Parmesan cheese crisps. Now these, y'all, are nummy. And all this is Parmesan cheese. And they made a cracker out of them. Somehow they made a cracker out of them. 0 carbs. The whole bag is 0 carbs. It's 2 servings. I can't even eat 1 serving of these because they've got such a punch. They're so strong. They're such a strong Parmesan cheese flavor that the only thing I need to do is like eat 2 or 3 and I can say, I'm good. I just need to munch on something. Maybe just tide that tummy over just a little bit longer. But you know, if you have some snacks on hand, if I had some snacks on hand yesterday, that hunger monster probably wouldn't have screamed as loud and I could have made it till lunchtime. Needless to say, yesterday I went home just a little bit early and I made a huge omelet with like bacon and ham and cheese. And then I had more sausage on the side and I was quite good until I went home and had supper last night. Anyway, have some snacks on hand. That's number 1. Have some snacks on hand. And that way, if the hunger monster comes, you'll be good, right? So that's practical tip number 1. Oh, by the way, just kind of a fun little thing. I'd love to know exactly where you're from. I'm filming this video in southwestern Minnesota in the country of the United States of America, for those of you who aren't from America, right? And I know a bunch of you aren't from the United States because you're watching these videos when I'm snoozing away in the middle of the night. You're watching these videos and you're subscribing. Thank you very much. I love it. I'd love to know exactly where in the world you're from. I'm guessing some of you are from Australia because I can see that in my YouTube algorithm. But anyway, let me know where you're from. And oh, by the way, if you're liking this video so far, give it a thumbs up. Give the video a like so the algorithm passes it along. Anyway, that's tip number 1. Let's get into tip number 2. Make sure that you're drinking plenty of water. Like I said, I'm drinking 60 ounces, generally 40 ounces in the morning for sure, and about another 20 to 40 in the afternoon, and then I tend not to drink as much in the evening. But I don't know if I had that much water yesterday morning for whatever reason. I was so busy. It's a busy time of the year for me in the church as it is. And then I'm going to be honest, y'all, I'm exhausted. I've had 2 funerals. This will be my 3rd funeral. I've got a funeral this week. This is my 3rd funeral, y'all, in like 5 weeks. I've had 3 people die in my congregation the month of March alone. I've done so many funerals since I've been to this church. It's not even funny. And they're not exactly energizing, if you know what I mean. They're mentally and physically draining to do a funeral. And I've got one coming up this week. And I was so fixed on that yesterday, that and planning for the week and that the following week I had, and just so much in my mind. I don't know if I was drinking enough yesterday morning. That might have been aiding to it. So in addition to having some snacks that I probably should have had in the office, healthy ones anyway, I probably wasn't drinking enough water. So that's kind of tip number 2. Make sure that you're drinking enough water. I'm going to take a drink right now. Excuse me. But thank you. Stay hydrated, right? Stay salty. Stay hydrated, my friends. Anyway, there's that. Number 3, maybe my body was telling me that I needed to change up my eating habits and my eating routine. Like I said, I think I said this a little bit earlier, I intermittent fast. I normally eat lunch and then I eat supper. And I'm normally eating between a 6 to 7 hour window, which is leaving me to fast anywhere from about 16 to 18 hours the following day. And it was right at that tail end of my fasting period when the hunger started screaming. Well, if I hadn't had enough the night before, it only makes sense that the hunger came back earlier and with kind of a vengeance. So I'm wondering, is my body trying to tell me that I need to start changing up my eating habits, my eating routine, and the times of the day when I'm eating? Or instead of eating 2 meals a day, like too mad, right? Maybe I eat breakfast, lunch, and supper. I don't know. I'd love to hear what your thoughts. Let me know in the comment section below. What are you doing? And do you think I should change up my dietary window? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Again, we're a community. We're here to help one another out. But that's number 3, right? Maybe your body is trying to signal to you that you need to change up your eating habits and your eating window and all that stuff. I think that's what's happening with me right now. I think my body is trying to get me to shift to eating earlier and more earlier in the day and not as late in the evening. So maybe around mid-morning and then mid-afternoon or something like that. I haven't quite got it figured out, but 3 practical tips. 1, have snacks on hand. 2, make sure you're drinking plenty of water. And 3, maybe you just need to change up your eating window. Okay, there's one more practical tip. So this one's a little bit more spiritual. I can't make a video. I can't make a holy carnivore video without bringing a little bit of Bible, without bringing a little bit of spirituality into it, right? I am the pastor, after all, am I not? There's a story in the Gospels of a time when Jesus was just getting ready to start his ministry. He had been baptized in the Jordan River by John the Baptist. And then immediately he went out into the wilderness. He went into the desert, if you will, for 40 days and 40 nights, where the Bible said he ate absolutely nothing for 40 days and 40 nights. And you can guess what happened at the end of the 40 days and 40 nights. His body was like, feed me, Jesus, I'm hungry, right? He was so hungry, y'all, that even the rocks looked good. You know you're hungry when the dirt beneath your feet is starting to look like, I can make me a mud pie out of that one, and I'd be willing to munch on that. Jesus was that hungry. And of course, the devil knew about it. So the devil just happened to be lurking around, y'all. And what did the devil do? He said, hey, Jesus, if you're the Son of God, Jesus, turn them rocks into a loaf of bread and just go ahead and eat, Jesus. Go ahead and just eat, Jesus. He's being tempted, right? He was being tempted in his carnal flesh, just as you and I are tempted in our carnal flesh to just eat those things like the Ritz crackers that we know we shouldn't be eating, right? Jesus was tempted to turn a rock into a loaf of bread. And guess what he said to the devil? He said, no way. He said, man doesn't live by bread alone, but by every word of God from above. Right? So Jesus fought the devil back with scriptures. Well, what can you and I do in that case? We can pray, right? When you're super duper hungry, or you're just being tempted, like to eat a Ritz cracker, or to eat a piece of dessert, or to eat something that you know is just gonna take your carnivore journey and throw it a curveball and get you off track for 3, 4, 5 days, whatever it is. What can you do? You can do the practical things, right? You can eat a snack. You can drink more water. You can shift your meals. Another thing you can do, a spiritual thing you can do, is pray. And you can also read some scriptures. So if you're a Christian, if you're Protestant, you're Catholic, you're Orthodox, whatever persuasion of Christian you are, you can pray and then you can read the scriptures. If you're Jewish, you can pray and you can read your Bible, your Old Testament. If you're Muslim, you can pray and you can read your Quran. If you're not a believer, what can you do? You can still pray. You can still pray to maybe the God that you don't believe in, or if you're agnostic, the God that you don't know if he's quite there. You can still say, God, I'm hungry. Just help me in this moment. That's all you got to ask for. That's all you got to say is just, God, help me out in this moment, right? We can all do that. Doesn't matter if you're a believer, unbeliever, or no matter what your faith persuasion is, everybody can pray. And we can all ask, help me out in this moment and help me fight this temptation that's trying to sabotage me. And those are some things you can do. 4 practical things that you can do, y'all, to help you stay strong on your carnivore diet. What do you think? Drop me a line in the comment section down below. Again, let me know where you're at in the world. And number 2, let me know, what are you doing to stay strong on your carnivore diet down below. And if I missed any tips, I'd love to hear yours as well. That's it. That's what I got for you today. Let me give you a quick blessing on the way out. I pray that it's God blessing you and he's keeping you. I pray that God's keeping you strong on your health journey. And I pray that you got peace and joy right here in your heart. I want you to know that God loves you and that I love you too. And I thank you for being a part of this community. Until I get to see you again right here next time on Holy Carnivore, stay strong, know that you're loved, and on your way out, binge this video and this video right over here. And I'll see you next time right here at Holy Carnivore. Goodbye.